Do you also struggle to make the right decision and be really, really sure that this is the right path to take? Well, it's pretty common that we cannot make up our mind sometimes, but very often we don't make a decision at all because we either have too many options available or are too afraid to take the responsibility with that choice. And inherently, we don't believe in ourselves that we can do it. Or we fear to be guilty of making the wrong decision and let other people down. And that is holding you back from creating your dream lifestyle. Now, the question is, if you die today, what dreams, what ideas, what talents, what opportunities, what books will not be written, what courses will not be made, what workshops, what videos, what music, what voice will not be heard, what change within your life and the people around you that you love and care will die with you. Hi, my name is David Ploss, your self-mastery coach and therapist from One Life Freedom, here to heal your past, master yourself, and live a happy, authentic life with soul purpose. Now, in today's video, you will learn, number one, how decision making works in the brain scientifically. Number two, why getting crystal clear on what you want is so super important. And number three, the 3 ways to overcome indecisiveness. And make sure to stay till the end, as I have a bonus advice that you don't want to miss. So how do we actually make decisions, and how does that look like in our brain? From a scientific perspective, neurobiologists consider decision making to be a 2-step process. First, to evaluate the options that we have and the possibilities, the pros and the cons. And the second step, to make a decision, to choose what we need to choose. And the first step happens where we evaluate and see all the different options that are there that give us the most amount of gain, gives us the most amount of pleasure, the fulfillment that we seek. And so we evaluate, and that all happens in the prefrontal cortex. And the second step, again, is to make that choice, which is the best option that gives us the most amount of value for ourselves. And this all happens in the prefrontal cortex. Now, there are 2 forms of indecisiveness. One form is the unconscious indecision, where you are actually not aware that you are not sure what you want, but you're influenced by it. And the second option, the more important one, is that you know that you're indecisive, but you're still not taking action, right? Now, why getting crystal clear on what you want is so super important, and the person of who you can become. If you don't know yourself well enough, you could end up in an abusive relationship, toxic relationship. You could choose a career path that you don't actually love and end up regretting your choice, your current job choice. Another way is that if you're not clear on what you want and why you're resisting to decide, you end up let other people decide for you. Because in reality, you're not trusting yourself to make the right decision. And you're not being in the driver's seat, driving the car, and therefore you go back in the passenger seat and let things happen, which is also making a decision, by the way. Therefore, it's important to know yourself at the deeper level so that you can decide, how do you want to create your future? Who do you want to be? And also why it's so important to be clear on who you want to be and what you want to create is that you're going to use a lot of time, and then over time you're going to regret of the choices that you have made. Now, the 3 best ways to overcome indecisiveness is to really think about why you're hesitant. Really meditate on it. Reflect on, yourself, of who you are as a person. What are your values? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What will this option actually bring to you? But not only reflect on it, but also to figure out a strategic way to really understand so that you can make better decisions. And ask yourself this: who am I trying to please by making this decision? What am I trying to protect myself from by making this decision or avoiding this decision? Really ask this question. This is a very powerful question, because our subconscious mind either tries to please us, to give us pleasure from, whether it be from other people, whether it be from ourselves by achieving a goal, by achieving a result, or our subconscious mind is trying to protect us from past traumatic events that we had in our childhood, that we had in our teenager years, or just in general in our life experience. And it tries to protect us to not get hurt again, because our ego always tries to protect itself, its identity of who am I? And if you want to change your identity, your ego will try to resist that, and that's why we have this difficulty of making really a decision. And so that's why it's really important to ask yourself those powerful questions. Ask yourself, who am I trying to please by making this decision or avoiding this decision? And what am I trying to protect by making this decision or not choosing this decision? What am I trying to protect? And once you have figured out, once you know yourself on a deeper level and ask yourself those questions, then the third is to find a decision-making model and think strategically and let go of bad decision. What I mean by that, to find a decision-making model and think strategically, is that we want to write it on a piece of paper. You want to use a model that works for you, whether it be to write it on a piece of paper, whether it be to discuss it with someone else, the pros and the cons, the worst case scenario, the best case scenario of each option, to discuss that with someone that you can trust, someone that is there to help you, that is there to support you in making a better decision. Also knows you pretty well, right? And therefore you want to either talk with someone, write it on a piece of paper so that you get clear of what are the pros, what are the cons, and not just do that everything in your mind, because your mind will tend to loop things over and over again, so that you will ask yourself the same questions again, even though you know the answer already, you've already gone through, because you have so many processes that you do within your mind. And then you get confused what you already have understood and what you already have asked. That can be very confusing because our brain loops onto things to double check things. And so it's much, much smarter always to make important decisions on a piece of paper. Yeah, to think strategically, that means also to really not only rely on your emotions, because your emotions, they can change from time to time, but rely on the facts, on the metrics, so that you can measure what you actually want, what you can expect, and the facts, to really lay out the facts on a piece of paper so that you know which decision works best for you, that aligns with your values, that aligns with your beliefs, that aligns with what you truly, truly want. That is so super important to you. That is also another thing, you want to choose something that is very, very important to you. Otherwise, you won't take action. And so the bonus tip that I want to give you as well, to make specific goals. Make clear goals that you know what steps you need to take, what are you actually aiming for, how does that look like once you have it, and really be sure, that you're making the right decision, because making clear that you have specific goals allows you to measure things, to know how much you have advanced towards that goal, towards what you actually want, and that will help you to make better decisions in your life. And let me know down below, how is indecisiveness holding you back? And also let me know what worked for you. I really would love to hear and have a discussion down below. Thank you so much. If you have gained value so far, please like it, share it with a friend or someone you think can really benefit from what I just shared here today, and you would help me a lot out and other people as well, because they will learn what you just learned here today. Subscribe if you want to see more videos on mental health, personal and spiritual growth, and really get through the limitations that's holding you back from creating and achieving your goals and dream lifestyle. I'll see you in the next video, but for now, much love, light, peace, wisdom, and freedom.